All right, so this is Legacy. For those of you that are into my standard content and haven't really dipped into Magic's older formats, Legacy differs from Modern in that Legacy covers every set that's ever been printed in Magic, but it has a ban list for some cards that were really busted from some of the earlier sets. Legacy, I often describe as there being 3 primary categories that most good decks fall into. This deck falls into the first category, which is likely the most popular, and that it plays the cards Brainstorm and Ponder, which are powerful cantrips that provide card selection and allow your deck to be very consistent. And they pair these cards with the card Force of Will, which is a free counterspell that costs 0 mana but requires you to get rid of an extra card to play it. So you 2-for-1 yourself, but you don't have to pay mana to play it. The second category Legacy decks fall into is Chalice of the Void decks. So because an entire category of this format is dedicated to decks playing these powerful 1-mana cantrips, Chalice of the Void is a card that says you can't play 1-mana spells, essentially. So those decks look to lock the first category of decks out of playing the game. For people that are Legacy aficionados, Death and Taxes, like Thalia decks, I think those are kind of like Chalice of the Void-esque decks, so they're looking to prey on these cantrip decks. The third category of decks that people play in Legacy sometimes are combo or meme decks. They're decks that are looking to kill on the first, second, or third turn of the game through abusing a combination of cards that have interactions that were never really intended, but have come up over the course of the 25 years of Magic's history. I think those tend to be the worst of the 3 category of decks, but there are some in there that pop up in top 8s with some frequency. Yeah, Thalia, Wasteland, Rishon Import, it's similar to Chalice in the decks that it's looking to prey on specifically. Yeah, sounds great. There is a Plague Mare in the sideboard, which is for the Thalia decks. I think the way this hand lines up, I want to just get an Underground Sea on one. Even if they have a Wasteland, I have a Ponder to dig for more mana. I want to just make sure I have my colors here. Hey, Urhwat, thanks for the 16 months. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Our opponent is playing Infect. Look at that. We have an alt art card on Mono here. It's borderless and text boxless. So they're a creature combo deck that's looking to kill us by dealing 10 points of damage with their Infect creatures. So I'm going to go ahead and take one of their 2 Blighted Agents here. And then hopefully we'll just pass next turn holding up Counterspell and Counterspell the second one. Earthcraft is actually still banned. So Legacy and Modern don't really update their ban list very frequently. So there's cards on ban lists in both formats that are fine power levels for the format, but just rot there because Wizards doesn't really care about these formats. Wizards of the Coast, by and large, would much rather have you playing Standard than playing formats like these, because Standard creates repeat customers for them, encourages you to spend money every few sets. Please explain to me why Earthcraft is more absurd than any of the other combo decks that currently exist in Legacy. Please, Legacy is a format full of absurd cards. It is mono absurd interactions. So do your best and explain to me why you think it's more absurd than Show and Tell and Emrakul or Gristlebrand. They've managed to monetize. They're monetizing them to a degree. So that's definitely a market that wouldn't be there without Eternal Format players. But again, these formats just don't generate repeat customers like Standard does. I don't even think I would classify it as absurd, Kova, honestly. I think it's borderline not that good, in all honesty. I think it's neat. I think it's novel. Oh, right. We have Liliana the Last Hope in our deck, don't we? I think I keep all of these. The Wasteland here lets me cast Jace next turn. We're in a pretty good spot here. That's a little bit unfortunate. So 2 of the cards in their hand right now are Invigorate. So I think I actually Jace and just unsummon this Blighted Agent. Really unfortunate for us that they drew the 3rd Blighted Agent. If they have a protection spell here, we're just dead. They do not. That's good for us. I'm leaving Baleful Strix back because 1 point of damage is pretty irrelevant, and I don't want Noble Hierarch to attack my Jace. Ooh, that's a good catch. I could Jace bounce, and if they get aggressive here, I just get to Liliana them. This attack is really good for us because it means this Liliana the Veil gets to Edict their Blighted Agent away. They might have a Dryad Arbor. Ooh, they have Ink Moth. I can Wasteland the Ink Moth though, right? So their hand right now is double Invigorate. And this game's closing up very quickly. In the Reed We Trust, thanks for the 10-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. I assume they're going to activate this. I'm going to Wasteland it, because this becomes a creature. If they don't have a Dryad Arbor here, this game is over. And even if they had the Dryad Arbor, Jace would just unsummon their thing again here. Ooh. I'm going to hide that one on top just in case they have something that lets them look at my hand. If they weren't dead before, they're definitely dead now. I'm going to Ponder to start, try and find my land drop. Does that qualify as a piece of candy? It does. When Snapcaster Mage is the worst card in your hand? Alright, does this Planeswalker elicit the concession? Is this the one that finally does you in? Would new Ashiok have a place in the 75 here? What does that card do for this deck? The Gatewatch is here. Cast Nicol Bolas, I dare ya. I like how they're still trying. It's really adorable. Yeah, the Thoughtseize was the card you couldn't beat. You were definitely in this game up until the Thoughtseize. Grip of Phyresis. Gain control of target equipment, then create a 0/0 black germ creature token and attach the equipment to it. I love that it's holding a sword. That's great. That's fantastic. Alright, I don't think this is a Hymn to Tourach matchup. Actually, I think Counterspell is a little bit mediocre here too. I want to be more efficient with my interaction, I think. The Spell Pierce and the Flusterstorm here is actually probably reasonable, and I could see Echoing Truth being okay as well. You think I want to trim Jace? I don't know. I want some Jace as a way to have inevitability, right? I guess Thief of Sanity is inevitability in a way. It's not really though, right? Because their deck is all bad cards for me. Venser's probably not rancid. Echoing Truth versus Venser is interesting. I don't think him is actually that good here. So my opponent's deck isn't a critical mass combo deck. They're more what I would describe as an A-B combo deck. So I'd much rather have cards that are precision tools like Thoughtseize, Spell Pierce, and Flusterstorm than disruption like Hymn to Tourach, which is taking card quantity away from them. Like, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't describe him to Tourach as being an awful card in this matchup, but I think it's less good than these other tools that I currently have. I think especially on the draw, it's important I leave in these Force of Wills. Just because, like, the games I lose here likely involve my opponent getting under me and being more efficient than I'm able to with my more expensive cards. I think back to basics is only for the matchups that it really guaranteed slam dunks. I think my deck with 4 Underground Seas, yeah, they also get down before back to basics a lot of the time too. All right, here's hoping I get a turn 3. I get a turn 2. As much as I really want a 3rd land, I think I keep the Force here. I think the Force helps ensure I don't die on turn 2, and the Baleful Strix can help block from there. And like, I have these other cantrips to help me dig to the land. You should have onboard ego in the sideboard. Oh, Magic's great. Wants to fight. Wants to fight. So this is drawing Snapcaster, and then hopefully we're gonna draw another land next turn and get to Plague Mare them. If they attack with both of these, we're trading with the Inkmoth Nexus, obviously, and not the Glistener Elf. Because Glistener Elf dies to Plague Mare, and Baleful Strix does not. Notably, they have access to blue mana here now, which is relevant because it means they could have Daze or Spell Pierce. Do I Brainstorm or do I Ponder first? My hand's got a lot of cards I wouldn't mind shuffling away, so I think I'm inclined to Brainstorm first here. Why would I upkeep Brainstorm? Why on God's green earth would I upkeep Brainstorm? Two more shots to the land. Why are we probably dead? I have a Force. And they haven't been pumping on previous turns where I was tapped out. Like, I think the people who are saying we're probably dead here are severely overestimating. They play white for sideboard cards usually. App, thanks for the 5-month resub there. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. All right, so do I just jam the Plague Mare here? They have 4 cards. If I double Thoughtseize them with the Force and the Spell Pierce, I'm pretty unlikely to die here. I kind of want to spot check. I kind of want to spot check for Daze. I kind of want to spot check for Dazes. All right, I'm going to take their Force so my thing can resolve. I'm going to take their Vines of the Vastwood. And then hopefully they play the Blighted Agent to play around spot removal, and we untap and just Plague Mare and slaughter them. My hand has infinite answers to Blighted Agent. Pretty sure we just leave that one where it is. So for those that aren't familiar, my opponent's creature here has a mechanic called Infect, which only needs to deal 10 points of damage to me in order to kill me. So pump spells are extra volatile and powerful in their deck. Deal. Alright, so this is a concession mare, right? No way this isn't a concession mare. They have one card we don't know about, so if it's a counterspell, I force them. If it's a pump spell, we force them. Trigger. Bye, friends. The Nightmare never has its creature type been more relevant. Ye old Nightmare horse. Bye, Felicia. 3 for 1, 3 for 0. I still have a 2/2. It brings me joy too. Yeah, the follow-up Lily, like if the horse wasn't lights out, the follow-up Lily definitely is. Like Ink Moth is their only threat that beats the last hope, and I have Fatal Push and Marsh Casualties here. We need another Thoughtseize to kill out a Brainstorm, actually. I don't think I really care what's in their hand. We have 6 Infect currently. Yeah, I should probably max on black sources here. There's a 4th Underground Sea for a reason. Also, for those of you that are thinking this format looks sweet and you might want to get into it in paper, I agree, the format is kind of sweet. This card, the 3 copies of this card are more than my mortgage payment. These 3 pieces of in paper are more than my mortgage payment. I forgot to plus my Liliana. It's okay. I forgot to plus my Liliana. It's gonna be okay. Oh, I should have forced that. I don't think it matters. I don't know. I could probably, like, let Twitch chat choose game actions at random and we'd still win this game from here. Which is honestly kind of what I'm doing by, like, forgetting Planeswalker activations and not forcing things that I should force. Marsh Casualties yourself. Oh yeah, the Deathrite Shaman made this card very affordable. What are we doing? Cast Deluge for 14. I have no idea. People just don't like conceding. Chalky is what they're waiting for. I don't know what they could possibly have. It's pretty sure they could stack their deck at this point and not beat our hand. Our hand plus our board. I'm done waiting. 6 months in Twitch chat. Love your stuff. Now to grab my trainee sword, Ryom. Thank you for the very generous tier 2 resub. Welcome back. Remember, you get to take a peek at the deck queue and pick something to bump up this month. There are a ton of great build around and deck submissions in there for new standard as well. Or if modern or legacy are a cup of tea, there's those to pick from also. Thanks for keeping me around. That's pretty sweet. Just playing a neat combination of good legacy cards here. Has anyone submitted Reclamation Crisis yet? I have a new Vivian Bant build around, which will probably be a Reclamation Crisis deck. Hey, Snacks. Thanks for the 4 months. I appreciate the third of a year. Thanks for shipping your Beza bucks back to Spagan and keeping me employed here. Hope everyone's having a great start to your weekend. Happy Friday, folks. I am going to be taking the entire weekend off one more time. Next week on Thursday, War releases on Arena, so I'm going to be going back to doing at least one day every weekend starting next weekend, but this weekend I'm going to take 2 days off in a row again. When am I switching to Standard? After this league. So we're heading on into our second match now, so probably another hour and a half or so before Standard. 11:30, noon, somewhere around there. We'll be starting Standard about noon on Fridays moving forward. Normally I won't be even going live on Fridays until about this time, but this morning I didn't have to go do what I normally do on Fridays. Dystopia. Thanks for the support. I think I'm going to grab a basic island here. Basic Plains is generally indicative of a Death and Taxes strategy, which is an archetype that plays a lot of Wastelands. Hey, what's going on, Dan? Hope things are well with you. How's this deck? It's playing a bunch of good legacy cards. I think I want to keep this, right? Like, my hand's not fantastic, so, like, having the Brainstorm to sculpt here a little bit is probably good. The cantrips kind of set me up to go long reasonably. Good Friday timeout. Definitely Wolfwood. Abyssal Snowstorm, 5 months of subbing for memes. Thanks for keeping me around. Don't let y'all memes be dreams. That's Legacy Staple 3-bin Inspector there. I don't really know what to make of that one. I'm gonna lean on Brainstorm, because if I find a fetch, we can shuffle. That's kind of mediocre. I'm going to put Force of Will back here because it's generally not good in the fair matchups. How greedy is it to throw a land back here? It's probably a little bit greedy, but it's probably the play. I'm going to get like Wasteland and never find a fourth land. Perfect. Perfect. I can snap a cantrip next turn. That's a scrying sheet. Okay, so a bit of a brew from the opponent here. I wonder if they're playing... This is a soldier. I wonder if they're playing Soldier Stompy, and they're playing this as a 1-drop that they can Cavern of Souls out through a Chalice of the Void. Conrad Eeks, thanks for the 2-month resub. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Huh. Deep pool of regret in my stomach for having shipped the Force. Gideon Emblem. Interesting. We look like Storm, to be fair. All we've done is play blue-black lands and cantrip. So they don't realize that we're a fair deck yet. The Snapcaster Mage should tell them that we're a fair deck. Until we see legacy cards, I'm sure they loaded the wrong format. Yeah, Wasteland's a kind of miserable Field of Ruin. It's a really messed up card that's probably too good. It creates a lot of frustrating games of Magic. I think I'm shuffling this. I think I just need, like, I don't know. I think I need Planeswalkers of my own, like Liliana's and Baleful Strixes. I have this Jace here, but Jace doesn't really defend against Gideon. Put my sub into zombies. Will do. What do we got? What do we got going on, opponent here? Yep. That's there's a legacy card. They're not in the wrong queue. That was not a Path to Exile, chat. We beat Infect. I don't know really what our current opponent's doing though. So I can't play Jace the Mind Sculptor because he'll just die to Thraben Inspector and Lad Chad here. So I guess we'll start on Brainstorm. Ooh! I bet this Thief of Sanity is really good. I bet they have a lot of good cards in their deck that I want a Thief of Sanity. That sounds exciting. You made that? I made that. I think it was right to send my force back in the Brainstorm at the time because they looked like death and taxes, but kind of regretting that decision now. I don't have any clean answers to a Planeswalker in my deck. There are no Abrupt Decays or Assassin's Trophies. None of these really accomplish anything. Ooh. Ooh. Let's do it. Come on. Bring the pain, Gideon. Bring the pain. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. All right, push your human visionary. Watch them have like a second Chad. There's like 1,000% a second Chad coming. Scrying sheets. Yep, deal. Resolves. You want to bet my card advantage is better than their card advantage? All right, so we're going to Jace, we're going to Brainstorm, we're going to Thoughtseize. I'm sequencing it in this order because I want to crack this fetch to shuffle away the cards I'm brainstorming back to the top of my deck. I don't really need a 6th land at this point. I am going a little bit low here. What on God's green earth? Destroy all non-land permanents. You gain 4. Cycle X make. All right, well, we're going to take the Council's Judgment, I guess. It's just like mono white cards they like. Confusion is super effective. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and play Thief of Sanity here. And pass the turn. Him is good, obviously. I want to take 2 cards away from them, but I wanna wait. This card does what? And then if you have more life, return it to your hand, so just like casting a gain 4. Or just like cycling to draw a card, sure. I guess they have planar cleansing to work up to here. Was Legacy a format in 2002, Nam? Do I brainstorm for a Force here? I think I'm supposed to brainstorm for a Force here. Never didn't have it. Alright, and then next turn I get to take all the cards out of their hand. I get to double him to Tourach them. Denna Bird, thank you for the 11 months. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I hope you weren't too attached to the cards in your hand. I would like to take them away. So, like, I could get Underground Sea and put the Yukihiro into play here, but I think I just want to Wasteland them, because their deck is just, like, full of mono-expensive spells. The good news with Thief of Sanity is we're going to get to see a significant portion of their deck, so that's nice. Oh, I should have put this into play. This is Legacy. Our opponent paid $12 to play just like we did. All right, let's board in all of my cards that bounce things off the table. Liliana the Veil doesn't seem, or Liliana the Last Hope doesn't seem particularly good. I can't get explosives up to 3, so I don't think that's probably worth bringing in. All my counters and discard spells are great. Am I supposed to trim Fatal Pushes? Like, it was okay there to be able to Edict their Gideon, but they probably don't have that many targets for it, right? I mean, to be fair, their deck's, like, clunky and probably unplayable against, like, the combo decks in Legacy, but it's kind of okay against what we're doing, right? Like, our deck's incredibly fair and doesn't really have flexible answers to a lot of the things they have going on. So, like, if any matchup is winnable for my opponent, it's definitely this one. This hand seems fine. He's got Force of Will to stop their first meaningful threat. Bring in Surgical so we can look at their deck with the real technology. Their deck's full of 6 mana cards, so I'm just gonna Wasteland them aggressively. Seems like the line. That's true. They probably beat up Death and Nexus too. Yeah, all of the fair decks that are trying to like keep the unfair decks in check are probably okay matchups for what the opponent has going on. Plane cycling the Eternal Dragon. Yep. Love it. Love it. What on God's green earth does that card do? Until end of turn, target player can't cast instant or sorcery spells. That player can't activate abilities that aren't mana abilities. Draw a card. Council's Judgment, Gideon, Palace Jailer. I think I actually leave them Palace Jailer because my Baleful Strix has let me take the Monarch from them. Like, I'm kind of okay regardless, right? Because I have these forces. Like, the forces 2-for-1 us to stop their spell, but, like, Jace is just going to provide an endless stream of cards. We've not seen an Astral Slide out of them. I assume they're gonna... Oh, they're using Scry. I assume they're gonna Field of Ruin to get their second blue here, but they're just trying to find a land. This is why Jace is more playable in Legacy than in Modern. Because in Legacy, you don't have to leave mana up to protect him. You're just like, nah, it's okay. I'll just pitch a card to Force of Will. Which is more than okay for me to do because Jace is drawing me unlimited cards. In Modern, you can't do that. There's less creatures to pressure Jace in Legacy too. That is also correct. Yeah, Legacy has all the cards Modern has, but the decks that see play are incredibly different. So while Jace is incredibly good in Legacy, he's not very good in Modern. And I think I actually let the Palace Jailer resolve, because while it exiles my Thief of Sanity, it makes my opponent the Monarch, but you become the Monarch when you hit your opponent for combat damage. So I'm going to, like, hit my opponent with my Baleful Strix this turn, become the Monarch, get my Thief back, and then I'm going to bounce their Palace Jailer and counter it on the way back down. So I'm letting this happen and they get to draw a card from being the Monarch once, but then I'm going to take the Monarch and they're never getting it back. Oh, wait. Is that a delayed trigger? How does that card work? Do I still get my thing back if I get rid of it? I think I still get my thing back, right? Yeah, I still get my thing back. Good. I understood the rules of the game. Didn't mess that up. It's my favorite deck in Standard right now. I don't know, in terms of like competitiveness, I don't really have a competitive deck that I like. I'm kind of spent on the format and ready for it to change. I'm going to Spell Pierce this, because if they pay for Spell Pierce, they can't do anything else that's meaningful this turn. So I don't care if this resolves. And if I Counterspell this, they then get to replay Palace Jailer, which I don't want. Thanks for making me the Monarch. Opponent has one card left in hand by Felicia. Yeah, Legacy in my... Oh! I get to cast their Surgical Extraction. Show me what your deck is. I would like a deck list. All right. All right, let's take a screenshot here real quick. Got it. There's an Emrakul in here. There's an Emrakul the Promised Ended here. Swords, Thraben, Wrath, more Planar Cleansings, Miser Gideons. Now we can win happy. How much to play that deck? $200. Nammy, thanks for the 8 months. I appreciate that. Don't make me do it, Scooter. That's the scare. It's gonna be 2 matches of me losing with miserable games of Magic. Like, the opponent's deck idea is cute, but it's not good in Legacy. That's why I gave an absurd number. It seems bad. It's bad is what it is. I get it. I'm the big mean bully playing the good Legacy cards, beating up the pile of mono white stuff, but like, their deck's not good. It's god awful. If you want me to play a god-awful Legacy deck, at least make it something interesting, like Belcher. What's going on, Serious Bands? Thanks for the 4 months. I appreciate the third of year. Welcome back. How we doing, folks? Welcome to everybody. Thanks for hanging out here today. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time streamer and content producer here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30, 40, sometimes even 50 hours a week. We play a ton of Constructed here on the channel every morning. We start off with some Modern or some Legacy on Magic Online like we're doing right now. And then we roll on in to Standard on Arena. As always, I'd like to give a shout out to all my wonderful subs out there. I wouldn't be here day in and day out without their wonderful support, so thanks to all of them for keeping me employed. I'd also like to plug a couple of my sponsors here really quick. The Nerd Rage Gaming Championship Series, a $5,000 cash tournament series that happens every single month in the Midwestern United States. If you can't make it out to the Midwest to play in one of their Standard, Modern, or Legacy tournaments, be sure to check out their streaming events, their live stream as well at twitch.tv/NRG series each month. BCW Supplies. We'd love to help you protect your very valuable Magic the Gathering cards using code Jeff10 at bcwsupplies.com. You can save 10% on sleeves, binders, deck box, and all sorts of other fantastic gaming accessories there with them. Neo provides wonderful candy-flavored protein bars using code Hoagland at bit.ly/Hoaglebar. You can save 10% on all of your orders there. And of course, I'd like to welcome everyone out there to Hoaglandia. I know there's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff here on Twitch, and I wouldn't be here without all of them. Thanks for choosing to spend part of your Friday here with us. Hope you're having a great start to your weekend. It's been a long time since we did a shill mid-arena or mid-moto, and I forgot how long it takes to queue, so I forgot to click find match before I started shilling, so I have to take a second here. I said 3 categories of good Legacy decks, Wessels, so their deck was not in any of those categories, so it's not good. That's Scooter Inner. SCTR. And it wasn't even. I think it's rude to call decks like my opponent's budget legacy because it does a disservice to like decks that are actually like playable legacy decks that are budget. Like my opponent's deck was just bad. Like calling the last deck a budget legacy deck is like calling the red green madness deck that I keep on my desk a budget legacy deck. Yeah, it costs like $25 to build and it's legacy legal, but it's not gonna win games of Magic, except when the opponent's deck just doesn't do anything. Thoughtseize is a great draw here. What you doing, Basic Island? That could be a lot of things. I'm going to take their Council's Judgment here. They are blue-white control, so settle in. Our Planeswalkers are going to be most important here, so taking their Council Judgment gives them less answers to those. They could be a Delver deck. I think the Council Judgment makes them a little bit less likely to be a Delver deck. I could maybe get punished for putting these removal spells back. But there's a good chance those cards don't have text in this matchup. Probably going to snap Thoughtseize next turn. Because this is Legacy and not Modern, we're fetching real duels and not Shockland, so fetching on your upkeep is strictly optimal. It's marginal versus fetching on their end step, but we'll take the strictly optimal play. Because I've met Twitch chat, so I know someone's going to bring it up if I don't make it. It might be right to fetch basics here, because there's a chance my opponent is a back-to-basics deck. They could have a Spell Pierce or a Flusterstorm here. I know they likely have another blue card because they were holding the Ponder for a little bit. I think I'm okay with that Spell Pierce happening. Getting the Spell Pierce used there is fine. I get to use this to pressure them a little bit. I have Liliana, the last hope here as well, that can now resolve, not get Spell Pierced. I wanna hold this Force of Will because they like untap and go land Jace the Mind Sculptor. I want to be able to force them. Morning, Dan. Snap Ponder here, sure. I get a really clean Liliana, clean up their Snapcaster Mage next turn. And Death and Taxes, basically. I think the Blazing Shoal Infect deck we've played on stream a few times, I think is an okay budget-ish deck as well. Forces are like the only thing that costs money in it. It's very, very budget by Legacy standard. Hey, Jay Miller, thanks for the great sub. I appreciate the 4 months. Welcome back. Are they missing a land drop here? This is their turn 4, right? Yeah, they missed a land drop. Alright, so we're definitely wastelanding them. Yeah, with another land drop drawn, we're definitely wasting them. Forced pitching Force. might be aggressive. It's definitely aggressive. I think it's right. Especially after I took their Council Judgment and putting them down a land. Like, Jace the Mind Sculptor is kind of the worry here at this point. But, like, if Last Hope ults, they lose the game. So it's like... Getting this through seems valuable. Yeah. Could definitely get punished here. The fact that we redrew the Fatal Push right away that we had tried to Brainstorm away sucks. Card likely doesn't have text in this matchup. Should you play the Wasteland first to play around Daze there? Technically speaking... Nah, it's not even strictly technically correct. Like, Daze is pretty uncommon out of my opponent's archetype, and knowing that they're about to get Wastelanded could change their play. Brainstorm's a great draw. Card's busted. I'm gonna get a basic island here. Again, just being a little bit conscious of back to basics. I don't know either of the cards in their hand because they played the plow. Ooh, that's a good one. No, Jace is great for us. Oh, that's a good draw. So this card is a mechanic called Ninjutsu, which lets me pick up a creature I control that was unblocked and put this into play tapped and attacking. Whenever this deals damage to my opponent, I think I just let this happen here. The way, like, while Yukihiro is, like, a good card here, the way I lose this game is them resolving a Jace or a Teferi, so I think I definitely just want to hold my force for a Jace or a Teferi. And, like, Yukihiro still generated value here because she picked up the Baleful Strix, which allowed me to replay it and draw another card. So, like, they spent a card killing my card that effectively drew a card, which puts me ahead. Nam Carver, thank you for the 10 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Entreat the Angels. Also a card worth forcing. All right, 2 more turns till this pops off. Oh, that's a good one. So, there's always people who at this point in the game are like, Jeff, why don't you start Fate Sealing? And those people don't realize how many cards you have to decline drawing to Fate Seal someone out of the game. The rest of my deck will kill them. Jace isn't my win condition, he's my engine. So, sweet. Man, that was a record time. God bless this Liliana, the Last Hope. Cleaned that noise right up. Last Hope's ultimate cleans up garbage time pretty quickly, to be fair. Alright, so I think I just cut the removal, right? I think if I'm leaving in one piece of removal, it's probably Fatal Push. Opponent's deck has Snapcaster Mage, and then often Vendilion Click and maybe some Monastery Mentor. But for the most part, these cards are worse than just like miscellaneous counterspells like Pierce and Flusterstorm. Oh, there are a lot of people who like to talk about cutting Force of Will in these matchups. And I really don't think cutting all the forces, or even some of them here, I don't really think I have cards in my sideboard that I like better. A 5-mana counterspell obviously isn't good, but in my experience playing these matchups, a lot of the time, these matchups are very much about resolving the right key card, and Force of Will stops that from happening on the other side of the table. So the card advantage is worth the tempo a lot of the time. I learned a lot watching your videos. Thanks for all the content. Well, thanks for all the support, Thrilling It. I appreciate the 13 months. Welcome back. That's actually true. Plague Mare might just be better. Yeah, let's just do that. And like attacks for 2 as well to enable Yukihiro. Oh, I actually like that. I already submitted, so I don't think I can change. I kind of like Echoing Truth for cleaning up their Entreat. And like sometimes sending their Planeswalker back to their hand is like also just like reasonable. Yeah, like, I like that suggestion. If we go to a game 3, I'm going to swap Plague Mare for Echoing Truth. That sounds fine. Not amazing, but fine. I'm going to lead on Scalding Tarn here. Yeah, and sometimes you have better cards to bring it out of the sideboard, but the way this sideboard lines up in this matchup, I think it's correct to leave Force in. I would like to Spell Pierce or Counterbalance. That one can resolve. This card's sweet in this matchup. Don't play Monastery Mentor. Thanks. Thief is sweet in every matchup. Maybe. I'm going to be a little conservative here and lead on the Baleful Strix, I think. Just like get a little bit more information. Keep leaving the Spell Pierce up. Leaving Spell Pierce up on the first turn they can jam Jace the Mind Sculptor seems important. Especially with the 4th land lined up here. Like I can play Thief with Pierce up next turn. Is there ever a time where you sideboard to try and play the opponent's game better or always make your... I'm not sure I understand what you mean with the question you're asking, Thrilling It. Razor's Edged. Thanks for the quarter of year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Strix didn't go through Standard. Strix was a direct to Legacy card. Strix is one of the... That's why this card's one of the reasons why this card's not in Modern. Thief is definitely the worst of the threats in my hand right now. We'll probably play Liliana next turn, because she can downtick and get Thief back. So, like, this is a real decision here. Do I force pitch Spell Pierce to keep the Jace? Or do I force pitch Jace so I can Spell Pierce Counterspell? I think I'm supposed to pitch the Jace. Because I want to beat Counterspell and Spell Pierce out of them. If they have a force of their own here, I'm in trouble. Or if they have Flusterstorm. Both of those end poorly for me. All right. Not really, Mueller. Because in order for those to deal with it, they have to not cast a spell that turn, which is pretty unlikely. Wow. They had the force and didn't fight over it. That's, like, really good for us. Pretty sure we'd be dead if this had resolved. It's possible that I want some Fatal Pushes in my deck post-board. I mean, and they can't know the contents of my hand, right? So, like, the way this has worked out, I really regret pitching the Jace here, obviously. I'm gonna play the Wasteland here, because if I draw a 7th land next turn, I can Snapcast Force. Like, holding the land's nice if I hit a Brainstorm, but like, there's a chance that, like, a higher chance I hit a land than a Brainstorm, right? There's only 4 Brainstorms in my deck, and there's like 10 lands. And like, the Brainstorm's gonna kind of be good regardless, because it like gets rid of the Spell Pierce that's likely not very good. And we're at the point of the game where like, just 5 mana Force of Will is like a fine draw, right? I mean, the horse just being Grey Ogre here might be good enough. Yeah, you Terminus that horse, buddy. You do it. You get him. I think it was right to pitch the Jace at the time, but it's definitely a decision that's biting us here. Yeah, if they get... I'm probably going to force the next AK. If they draw a second... Accumulated Knowledge draws cards equal to the number of accumulated knowledges they have, so, like, the second one will draw them 2 cards. I'm playing this land because I would like to snap Force of Will to get a threat into play. Hey, Corrosion, thanks for the 6 months. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I would not be surprised to see if... Wow! Wow! We got Entreat and Jace. Holy crap. Yep. Thank you. Come again. That was... Welcome to Thunderdome, baby. Welcome to Thunderdome. When him is better than double Thoughtseize, right? They have to hit Supreme Verdict here. Maybe I'm supposed to force this to keep them off Supreme Verdict. They could reasonably have Supreme Verdict in their deck. Alright. I think this card is similar to Phage the Untouchable in this matchup. Especially with, like, counterspells up on our side. Pretty sure we're done here. Draw cards equal to the number of the cards named Accumulated Knowledge in all graveyards. Yep, I'll take a draw too. All right, I'm not gonna play the Ponder because I want to be able to snap Fluster here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that was some good clean living. All right, are we 3-0-6-0? We are 3-0-6-0. All right, let's do it. Look at that. We cashed a Legacy League, chat. It's so weird. This format's way easier when you play good cards. Did we break? This is a viewer submitted deck list, just like most other things we play here. Just like most other things we play here. This is oh, I'm blanking on the name. This is the Burn Pits blue-black control deck. Blue-black mid-range, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Just like Banteldrazi, yep. Look at that. Two good Magic Online decks in a row. What year is it? Good golly. 2 more matches with this one, and then we'll roll on into Standard for the rest of the day. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out. Jeff enjoying a Legacy League. Legacy deck submissions are discontinued. Why? I'm just only accepting Legacy decks that are actually good now. Just like Modern. I'm only taking ones that are like actually great. We actually have another Legacy deck in the queue too. So we have Jeskai Blade. We'll probably get to Jeskai Blade next week when we do a couple of MTGO only days. We're gonna be doing all Magic Online Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't really want to play SI Rycat. The last time we played that deck, we just died a bunch. And that deck's definitely worse with the London Mulligan. People are going to have their forces way more often. Alright, hopefully this is a matchup where Fatal Push has text. This card's really good against Twitch streamers. They play Nick Fit? Are we 3-0 and playing against Nick Fit? They're 2-0. Okay. Because this standard format's basically spent, Jerry. So, like, once I play the 5 or 6 standard decks that we're going to play today, this afternoon, there's only, like, 2 or 3 standard decks for the current format left in the deck queue. So the new set drops on Thursday on Arena. So I'm gonna be doing a bunch of standard only once the new set drops. So I wanna blow through a bunch of the modern queues so that doesn't get backed up. Yeah, Legacy. So Legacy is a format where, in my opinion, you need to, if you enjoy the good games of Legacy, the format's great. The part of Legacy that I find really frustrating is the part where just like, we're sitting there playing terrible decks, swimming upstream, basically. Alright, so in response to this Veteran Explorer trigger, I'm gonna Brainstorm. Because this Veteran Explorer trigger is going to shuffle my deck. And then this Veteran Explorer trigger gets both of us 2 lands. So I'm going to get 2 islands. And then I'm just going to let Cabal Therapy resolve. They've only got 4 cards left, so... What do they know about my hand? They saw Hymn to Tourach and Counterspell, so they're probably going to name one of those 2 here. I assume they're going to name him. It could be Rector Nick Fit, yeah. Opponent names Hymn to Tourach, yep. It might have been right to counterspell that so I could hymn them. I don't know. Yeah, I agree, Mana Symbol. The difference between a tier 2 deck in Standard and a tier 1 deck is much closer than the difference between a tier 1 and tier 2 deck in Moderns and Legacy right now. Pernicious Deed. I think I'm okay with that one, right? They want to trade that for Thief down the line, that's fine. Living Wish. What are the odds they get something that can't be countered here? Low. Just gonna let this happen. It's a creature, or I guess they could get a land. That's scary. What kind of land could they get that could punish me? Tiers are arbitrary. We don't have objective metrics for defining tiers. Oh, they get Cavern of Souls. Yep. All right, I deserve that. I deserve that. Yeah, where am I? I've got 2 Wastelands in my deck. Where are they? All right, that'll do, pig. Living Wish and Snow-Covered Forest. So they kept the card that they wanted to keep. Yeah, so like even your tier there is subjective, Symbol. Like, what does consistent results mean? What does big tournament mean? Like both of those things are extremely subjective. So they kept their Academy Rector. Yeah, and they have the Pernicious Deed too. I don't have a way to get this off the table, right? That's not killing it. No, my Venser's in the sideboard. It gets an enchantment. Jace could do it. Yeah. Oh, 1 mana short. Watcher upon the threshold. Thanks for the 8 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I think I still take the Jace here. I'm just gonna force them to use this Pernicious Deed. Let's just find out what they've got. I'm gonna Fatal Push this at end of turn. Nice, Guardfather. Yeah, it's good stuff. Like I said, Christy's like Queen Couponer, and she definitely uses it, so. Could have used my Counterspell better this game. I think my mistake is that I should have Counterspelled the Cabal Therapy to keep my first him, to then him them initially. I think that was my mistake. Yeah, I assume Overwhelming Splendor is the go-to. That's the one-sided humility that also... It doesn't turn off Planeswalkers, though, right? So I still get to Jace the Mind Sculptor them. And they don't know about the Jace. Sandworm Convergence is not amazing against Baleful Strix or Thief, though. And like Jace even keeps Sandworm Convergence off our back a little bit. But even Enchanted players have to sacrifice a creature or Planeswalker. If they can't, they lose 5 life. That's interesting. Alright, so I think I start with this, and then I Brainstorm looking for a force so I can stick Thief of Sanity with protection. I mean, does it dunk on us that hard? Like, I have all these Baleful Strixes. Like, it makes me tap out this turn, I guess. If they don't stick a bomb here, we're in an okay spot. Because, like, next turn I get to, like, go Strix plus Thief. They named Force of Wills. They're trying to clear the way for something, so what do you got? The fact that I use this Counterspell so poorly this game is going to bite me. If they have a Pernicious Deed here, that's bad for me. Worth noting, there's only 2 more mana-producing lands in my deck, 2 swamps. I guess Wasteland, there's only 2 more fetchable mana-producing lands in my deck. There's a Diabolic Edict on top of my deck. So I need to fetch that away because I don't want to draw it for the turn, depending on what they do. I put a stop on my upkeep, so if they don't play something that makes me want to keep the Edict, I'm going to shuffle that away. Yeah, that's true, actually. I can snap in response to the trigger. Hopefully they're just on bricks here. Nope, they have a thing. They have another Rector. If they have another Rector, we're probably dead. Although if they had another Rector, why would they name Force of Will? Because they have a Cavern for their other Rector. So in response to this trigger, I'm going to Snapcaster Mage and target Brainstorm. Now I'm going to target Ponder. That doesn't have a land that it can get out of my deck that makes mana. I really, really want to find a force underneath these other 2 cards. Think I'm going to hide these 2 on top of my deck. Nah, I'm going to hide the Thief of Sanity. These 2 cards are the ones that allow me to win this game. I'm going to hide these. I'm going to play this other Thief out because their deck probably has Answers to Cruel Reality in it. Oh, please, I need a Maelstrom Pulse or something. Let me search the library for a curse card. Doesn't say we have a curse attached to enchanted player. Yep. Alright. Oh, am I supposed to Fate Steal them first here? possibly. Well, that's the card they wanted to get. That's the curse they wanted to get. Baleful Strix, cast Thief of Sanity, Wasteland your Cavern, hold up Counterspell pass. I'm gonna ponder for a force. Go. So I'm hoping with this Overwhelming Splendor gone, they don't have anything else that can get us here. My early mistakes with this Counterspell, still just like holding us back the entire time. The opponent's deck is an archetype called Nick Fit. That's a Curse of Deathhold. I think I sack Jace the Mind Sculptor here. I'm pretty sure Jace is worse than Thief of Sanity. Because there aren't answers in my deck. Hopefully there's answers in theirs. No, I can't. Curse kills it. For people wondering why I didn't, all my creatures have -1/-1. Thanks. You made that? I made that. I told you their deck had answers in it, chat. I told you their deck had answers in it. I think I take the Cruel Reality, right? What are the odds they have another Cruel Reality? What are the odds they have another Cruel Reality? Like, very, very low, right? I don't know that I quite want to say 0%, but it's, like, pretty low. Yeah, they usually play a bunch of one-ofs, I believe. Zombie, thank you for the tier 2 resub. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Thanks for the third of the year. Yeah, I think they generally don't have room for more than one of each payoff. Yeah, you got tired, Emperor. What does this card do? Creature without flying can't attack you or planeswalkers your control. At the beginning of the end step, create a 5/5 green worm token. Alright. The deck, is our deck good for Legacy? Yeah, definitely. Our deck is like, just like a bunch of good Legacy cards. And Thief's been really impressive. Like, Thief is one of the cards in our deck that's like, not a staple, Legacy staple, and like, it's been very good. They didn't get anything with the Curse of Misfortune, so that's not doing anything else this game. Cavern could be scary, maybe. Probably not. No, Sandworm Convergence doesn't stop flying creatures. Oh, it only stops creatures with flying? Oh, weird. I thought that did the inverse. Yeah, it's not a curse. So Curse of Misfortunes couldn't get Sandworm Convergence. Oh. Oh, look at the Spirit Dragon, eh? Let's slide this over here with my other 8 mana spells. Go. You know what the best part about these... The best part about these thieves being 1/1 is we get to mill them out before we kill them with damage, so we get to see their whole deck. -3 card. This board pleases me. Username checks out. Hey, thanks for checking out the Quip sponsor. I appreciate the support. All right, game the second. Venser and Echoing Truth, please get in my deck. Spell Pierce sounds great. I don't think Flusterstorm's probably good enough. Leyline turns off Rector. That's technically true, isn't it? Oh, Surgical turns off Rector too, right? Last Hope doesn't really have text. Oh, Leyline turns off Explorer too. Yeah, I'm gonna bring in the Leylines. Coma Cake, thanks for the 14 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. If I'm boarding into more counter spells, do I want to trim a Liliana the Veil? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are gonna be all moto next week, Anner. As a heads up, it's on the schedule. Need one more cut here. I feel like it's Liliana the Veil. I feel like it's Liliana the Veil. I feel like this card's not good enough to leave 2 in. Alright, let's do it. That was an incredible game of Magic. Why will Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday be all moto? Because I'm kind of spent on the standard format, and the deck queue's mostly empty. And I want to do a bunch of all standard Thursday, Friday, Saturday once the new set releases. This is like... I kind of feel like I can do better. Like a Thoughtseize or a Leyline to start sounds really good. The flip side is that like mulliganing against Cabal Therapy deck sounds kind of poopy. And like Hymn to Tourach is good. Yeah, it's close. I'm gonna keep this. Maybe I'm supposed to keep Snap there, so I can, like, him, Thief, Snap him. I think giving up that 7 is fine, because it's close. I think this one's close too, but not bad enough to go to 6. The fact that there's 2 basics in this opener really sucks for us. Yeah, I wonder if I'm supposed to push the land because they're a Nick Fit deck. I can see. I guess if they were gonna do that, I could like brainstorm basics back into my deck though. So like there's that. Every time! Never not the 8th card. Never not the 8th card. Oh. There is a quote from someone on the Arena team stating that Kaladesh would be added back in. Arasathar, thank you for the 10 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me here. For people that are worried about Kaladesh, 1 month from now, the only question is, how do I protect Hooglandia from myself? The very, very important thing to remember is that Magic formats and the power level of cards is contextual. So just because things were messed up when those card sets were in Standard doesn't mean they're guaranteed to be messed up coming back into a new format. Poor Thief of Sanity. Cabal Therapy's a good draw here. Yeah, smart to take Brainstorm on their part. Let's see if they have an Explorer here or not. Tok Makai, thanks for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Yeah, I also wouldn't be surprised if something like Aetherworks Marvel starts on the ban list. They go Veteran Explorer here. We could be in trouble because it lets them get their engine going. Marvel into Nexus of Fate. Ugh. That doesn't sound... You're right, that doesn't sound very fun. We know with 100% certainty there will be a new non-rotating format in the fall. We don't know where it's going to start or what ban list or whatnot, what support there will be. All we know is that it will 100% exist. It is very likely in. We don't with certainty know anything. There is a quote from someone on the Arena development team that it would be added back into Arena, which implies it'll be in the new format, but we don't know that for sure. One of the things to me, from a design standpoint, that implies energy will be in the new format, if you note the card that takes 5 loyalty off a Planeswalker or counters off a card, that card also takes counters off of players, which is a way to interact with energy. Which, if we see more cards like that that incidentally interact with energy for this new format, I think that's more likely that we'll see it happen. It only takes counters off of opponents, so it's not really very good with Legacy. Oh, right. Oh, right. Well, I assume... All right, we're done here. Oh, right, that's a different... I thought that was an alt art. The Rectors get Planeswalkers now. Definitely want these Leylines in my deck. Shame they weren't in the opener. Would have been real great there. Mageologist, thanks for the 6 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. You know what, Kanban? Before Ravnica Allegiance existed, I was very much on the please don't put Kaladesh in the new non-rotating format bandwagon. But now that they make us suffer through, now that we have to suffer through Nexus of Fate and Wilderness Reclamation being together, bring on the Kaladesh. I just want a big card pool to play with. If there's problems with Kaladesh cards in the new format, just ban them. It's fine to manage the format with the ban list. I was on the this standard's great, start with the great standard. This standard is no longer great for me. It's just okay. It's fine. It's probably above average for me, but it's no longer the best format I've ever played. I have no idea. None of us know. And pretending that you know the answer to that is silly. Magic's really complicated. Yeah, and they might go back even further than Kaladesh, right? They might go back to Shadowmoor Origins or stuff like that. I just hope that, like, they're actually willing to manage the format and not let it, like, devolve into degeneracy. Shadowmoor. Whatever the shadows over whatever, okay, chat? All the sets have shadows in them. It's really dark out. It's like the lighting in my room. There's just lots of shadows everywhere. I think I'm not putting the second Leyline into play here because it's a card I can discard to Liliana the Veil or Brainstorm away later. You know, actually, this was a mistake. Every one of their Blind Cabal therapies have named Force of Will, which is correct. So I should have drawn the Underground Sea here and left the Force of Will hidden. So this was a mistake. Stacking my Ponder that way. It also exposes it to a Thoughtseize. Millbot, thanks for the 7 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me here. I'm holding out for Theros 2 Electric Boogaloo. Yeah, that was a mistake. I guess not having that in my hand lets me push the Liliana up more aggressively, which is kind of a plus. Only putting one Leyline into play is, like, worse against, like, Assassin's Trophy, but, like, we saw a pretty significant chunk of their deck in Game 1 and didn't see that card. How do they handle the players getting cards? So if you open your wallet, there's a credit card in your wallet, and this is how you handle the players getting all of the cards in Arena. All right, the fact that I'm not pressuring their health total here makes Sylvan Library really good. So Sylvan Library lets them look at 3 cards every turn, and they can put 2 back, or they can pay health to draw extras. So Sylvan Library and my lack of pressure on their life total is going to make my attrition from Liliana a lot worse. Put this towards Living Twister in the standard queue. Will do, Melbot. Thanks for the support. Yeah, Thief is definitely the card that can, like, carry us to victory. The Leyline of the Void plus the Hymn might disrupt them enough here, especially if they don't have a clean answer to Liliana the Veil. Because, like, their main cleanup card is Pernicious Deed, and that notably doesn't kill Planeswalkers. And, like, as long as Leyline's hanging out here, all of their Academy Rectors and their Veteran Explorers are turned off. Notably, my opponent has used 7 more minutes off their clock than we have. This is match 4, right? Yeah. We did finally drop a game. Hopefully we don't drop a match. So they can draw 3 cards next turn, but we do get to take 3 cards out of their hand with him plus Lily. Hopefully we draw a blue or black mana source next turn. And I get to Echoing Truth this, him, them, and then plus Lily. Just, like, get my hand completely empty. I would not be surprised to see my opponent pay 4 to 8 here and just, like, work through their deck. Five O's getting ahead of ourselves here. I don't know that we're in a good spot in this game with their Sylvan Library. Maybe I should have made them. They're playing so slowly that it's possible. If I was being as competitive as possible, I should have made them kill me in game 2. Because, like, with how slow playing they are, they could have reasonably timed out in this game if I would have made them actually kill me in game 2. It's just like, making them kill me when we're in garbage time is just like really bad television. And like, this is already kind of bad television because my opponent's playing so slowly. That's true. Him plus waste is not bad. Because, like, while wasting is kind of like treading water, like, putting them behind while they have all these cards is not a terrible thing. Like, keeping them off of being able to deal with my Liliana, ideally. So they get a land or a creature with this Living Wish. They got Phyrexian Tower. Sure. Huh? I think I want to hold up Counterspell. Do I? Or do I just, like, hymn them? Maybe I just hymn them and Wasteland them? Do I just hymn and Wasteland them? I think I just hymn and Wasteland them. And now do I take the Phyrexian Tower or the Bayou? We have to worry about slow play if all players have chess clocks. Yeah, my opponent's literally playing slowly right now, and they're on a chess clock. So, like, what's the most mana they have next turn, right? Like, the most mana they have next turn is they play a Veteran Explorer, they crack Phyrexian Tower, they play a land, so they have, like, 3 mana next turn. I'm gonna waste their Bayou. Yeah, I agree with that assessment. The tower is a lot less scary with the Leyline in play. They can't cast black spells without a creature if you kill the tower. I mean, they have a Bayou if I kill the tower. Sure, I agree. The hymn's not great here, but I also just kind of want to get my hand empty. Oh, you got it. Yeah, I agree. I think taking Bayou is fine. Opponent down into the red on the clock because they're under 5 minutes. Sure. Sure. Let's go ahead, Davis. If you like him in Wasteland, you're going to want to go back and watch this league. It's been a long time since a Legacy deck's been the deck of the day, but I think there's a good chance this is the deck of the day. Do I do this and then just like Liliana your library and your ooze versus your 3 lands? Is that crazy? I could also just like Liliana downtick the ooze. Yeah, I'm gonna block and then probably Liliana downtick the ooze. Yeah, Liliana's like our only resource at this point, right? So I can't really just give her up. That's true. Also, like, making them play this out means I play to the timeout line. That's a very terrible draw. But I assume you knew that. Like, Liliana answers their next 3 threats, right? And they can only draw 1 more card here from the library. Because they're at 7. Alright, well, land for the Tiger Shadow would be great. Legacy has a bunch of cards in it that are offensive to the color pie. This is a good draw, like, with a couple of other things. If I can hit a land, it's very good. Alright, I'm gonna plus her and get rid of this Force of Will. It's not doing anything, and I want her to be at 3 in case they play another creature next turn. Want to leave all my basics in my deck just in case they explore at some point. So this starts generating card advantage for me now, which this is what we've been missing, right? We're missing a way to like pull ahead. Like we're basically just been like treading water here against what they're doing, and this draws me an extra card every turn. Potentially. Yeah, she does also just end the game if we hit spells. It's very true. So they need, like, land plus Pernicious Deed on top of their deck here. And that cuts them off of that. I think I want to take them off of white and not black here. Maybe that was a hasty decision. It might have been better to take them off of black. Their only white might be the Rectors, which aren't live at the moment. Yeah, I probably should have taken them off of black. Too bad Thief isn't also a ninja. Don't be greedy. Alright, this game's over. The combo versions felt clunky and awkward, Chucky. Just playing good cards seems good. Greg! Thank you for the very generous tier 3 resub. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Hope you're having a fantastic Friday and good search your weekend. Oh. Oh, Sylvan Library. I've heard this one's pretty good. I did clear the top of their deck for them. Let's look for a Force of Will. Perfect. They're dead regardless, but I just want to send the message that they don't get a creature. Alright, this one's running a little bit long, but I'm going to finish it up because this deck's been sweet. Let's finish it up. Get that locked in for some treasure chesties. We get a QP. We are 4-0. That's weird. We put a bunch of good legacy cards in our deck and we haven't lost a match. This is strange. Strange how that works out. What do you get for going 4-0, 4-1 in a legacy league? The high roller leagues are like 8 treasure chests, right? This is a list Mangucci played a few weeks ago. I have no idea. This is a list of viewers sent in. Ooh, a qualifier point. You can always find all of my decks on my Stream Decker page. You can always find all of my deck lists in the YouTube video description. Everything we stream gets uploaded to YouTube and it all gets cut up and broken up by deck. Hey, Remicide. It has been a hot second. Hope life's treating you well. Thanks for the prime. What if you lit money on fire and opened some of those chests? Nah. Hopefully chest value bumps back up when the new set releases. How many chests am I at right now? I've got 50 chests here waiting to be sold. Is there a way to convert tickets to gems? There is. You can convert tickets to USD, and then you can convert USD to gems. It's a good system. This is fine. Probably ship a Snapcaster here. Is Thief better than True Name? That's an interesting question. I think in some matchups it is. We definitely would not have beaten the Nick Fit player if Thief had been True Name. And yeah, this deck only plays 4 Underground Seas. So you just like skip a couple of mortgage payments, you can get this deck no problem in paper. Revealed Chancellor of the Annex. You know, we actually haven't played against any combo decks yet today. We might be dead, chat. So it's turn 1, and my opponent has put a 7/7 flying lifelink, pay 7 life, draw 7 cards creature into play, and it just stays there permanently. So I'm going to go ahead and concede. Welcome to Legacy. Enjoy your stay. It's fine. We got 4 Leylines on the board. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be okay. Yeah, Surgical too. God bless. Bless up. Hey, thanks for the biddies, Dusty. Yeah, I agree. I think our deck has a lot of good tools for this matchup. What do I want to cut here? Thief of Sanity is technically an enabler for them. I probably want to trim this one. Oh, him to Tourach is rancid. Yes. Yes. I'm gonna put 2 Thief back in. Him is scary. I agree. I forgot we were playing that one. Cut the hymns against Reanimator. Because they want half their combo in their graveyard. Deluge can answer a thing. I guess that's technically true. They don't always put Gristlebrand into play. I don't know. I've got Edict and 2 Lilianas. I think that's enough thing answering. What's going on, Flamancipator? Thanks for the 4 months. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me out. Leyline Force Spell Pierce. Let's do it. Let's do it, and do it, and do it, and do it again. Can someone explain to me what happened last game? Yeah, they put Gristlebrand into play on turn 1. You see this Snapcaster Mage here? He's going to flash into play on turn 2 and attack for 2 a whole bunch. Why is the Talkie Box man attacking me with his finger? Good question. How did they get him on the field? Dark Ritual, Entomb, Exhume. Coffees for closers, chat. Snapcaster Mage is interested in a cup of joe. I've got a Force of Will. Snap's plenty safe. As a Reanimator player, him never hits the right half of the combo. Second Ambush Viper is a good beat here. All right, 4-turn clock. Let's go. Ain't nobody got time for a third land, chat. Ain't nobody got time for a third land. These are 1-mana counterspells. This is a free counterspell for people wondering what our cards do. They are going the distance. They are going full speed. They're all alone in this time of need. They're racing and pacing and plotting the coals. What do your thoughts look like over on the other side of the board? What you work with? This might be a concession, Thoughtseize. What if we didn't do that? Yeah. All right. One more quick and brutal one where we start with Leyline of the Void and other counterspells. Let's do it. Let's do it, and do it, and do it, and do it again. Force blue card probably isn't good enough on the draw, right? I think I mulligan. Yeah, buddy. Let's do it. All right. What do I bottom? I'm probably supposed to double Leyline them, right? Do I push the Jace? Is it absurd to push the Force here? I'm gonna push the Jace. All right. We'll be good. We'll push the Jace. My opponent has mulliganed to 4 cards. Are you ready to visit Thunderdome, opponent? The Thunderdome is ready for you. But chat, the London Mulligan is gonna make aggressive combo. Oh no! All right, I have nothing. I just have all of my ley lines. This is all I have. Whew, whew. Remember that time I almost bottomed the force? Remember that time I thought about bottoming the force? Pepperidge Farm remembers. It was not a good scene, chat. It was not a whoo. That was legacy staple. Reverent silence there. Do I keep these cards? I feel like I keep these cards. I'm gonna Brainstorm next turn. Use my fetch land as the good Lord intended. I think my opponent is so low on resources at this point with us having double Leyline. God bless America. Oh, legacy. I think I want to draw the third land here. I think I want to draw the third land. And I want both my spells, so I'm going to put these two back, and I'm going to decline to shuffle. We'll redraw the snap next turn. I mean, we had two Leylines, I guess. And I think I'm supposed to risk it for a turn here and snap Ponder. Just, like, get a little velocity going. All right. So if they don't do me dirty here, we have a good shot. All right, we're dead. Got it. All right, sweating bullets over here. Let's go. Let's go. One turn. God, their hand was good this game. Good lord. Oh, buddy. Alrighty then. Let's do it. All right, so I gotta put two of these back, right? I gotta put two of these back. All right. Let's go. Let's go. I think I Wasteland them, right? I think I Wasteland them. And I think I want to Wasteland them off green, in case they have, like, trophy or anything like that. I agree. I think this game is a case for the London Mulligan. Both players mulliganed and we got to actually play Magic. My opponent went to 4 cards this game, and we're like sitting here playing a real game. That's the goal of this change, is to make for more good games of Magic. I am emotionally invested in this game. That makes it a good change. As someone who's never played Legacy, I'm furiously typing to look up all these cards. This is a 2-screen high APM viewing experience. What's going on, Day? Worth noting here, my opponent is on the full 4 copies of Reverence. I'm going to take a picture so it lasts longer here. Slide this off to the other one. We're actually not full. Well, I guess we're probably in the clear. So my opponent has one copy of Ashen Rider in their deck, which is a card that exiles a permanent when it comes into play, but Liliana the Veil does cover Iona, which is nice. But like my opponent has 2 Faithless Lootings in their graveyard, which lets them flashback to draw 2, discard 2. So like if they hit a land here, and then they loot the Ashen Rider into their graveyard, the Ashen Rider can come into play and exile this. And I think I'm actually not supposed to plus the Liliana here because my opponent's only out here is Ashen Rider to take the Liliana off the table. And if they hit that, the Edict then lets me answer the Ashen Rider. So like, we know the contents of my opponent's deck. Yeah, exactly. So like, alting the Liliana doesn't really accomplish anything for us here. Well, they have a lot of anti-Leyline cards. They had 3 Silences, 2 Serenities, and 2 Wear Terrors. Hey, Nexus, thanks for the tip. Hope you're having a great start to your weekend. You know, I'm actually just not going to plus this. The 4th land means I can cast a Jace. This Legacy League has been A+. I agree. It's been a long time since we've had a Legacy League of the day, and this is definitely that. I guess they have a card in their hand. Plussing the Liliana to take a card out of their hand is like kind of meaningful. That's a snap surgical. So I think snap surgical locks things up here. We have snap counterspell available too. So like this should keep us from dying this turn. So if they don't kill us this turn or next turn, I'm gonna hit them to 3, and then end step I'm gonna get to Snapcaster. Ooh, they hit the Entomb. This is the Ashen Rider. My hand is also really good opponent. That's why I didn't plus the Liliana. Dark Ritual. Oh, they're casting Ritual so they can looting into the reanimation spell. I like it. Did you hit it? Oh, this game was so close. Here's my boy, Snapcaster. Got that good clean 5-0. That was exciting. That was like quality sets of Magical. I'm really glad we got to close playing against a combo deck because the rest of that league had been a bunch of fair interactions. I really like playing Legacy when we play with good decks that are sweet. If you didn't watch this entire league, it was almost 2 hours long. It'll all be up on my YouTube channel later. Oh, yeah, I guess Infect's a combo deck, right? That's like Creature Combo. Creature Combo is kind of atypical for Legacy. Like, while Creature Combo is very stock in Modern, it's not as common in this format. I really like this deck. Honestly, I don't really know that I have any feedback on things I would want to change. I really felt like we had a good mix of stuff. The fact that these Legacy decks get to play Brainstorm and Ponder to draw and see so many cards for so little mana means that, like, playing these one-ofs is, like, pretty reasonable. Because I like to have takeaways on, like, what was good and bad. My big takeaway is that Thief of Sanity punched the clock and went to work in more than one match there. Like, against both Nick Fit and Miracles, this card was better than True Name. And, like, obviously this card is easier to interact with than True Name, but its closing power in those games was just, like, unparalleled. It is worth noting, I did not play against any Death and Taxes or Delver strategies, which I'm not sure about how this deck as a whole does against those. It seems like it would have good tools, but Thief of Sanity is probably worse against Delver and Death and Taxes than True Name would be. Yeah, we did get, like, one freebie in there that was, like, a non-deck, but, like, we played against 4 real Legacy decks other than that. Nick Fit's, like, almost real, right? All right, video games? I think it's video games time.